DVD store application available on linux.dell.com. The DVD store is loaded on VM3 in the PowerEdge Blade system on Blade 3. Workload is generated from the PowerEdge 2950 system on the left. The demonstration will show that Blade 3 is running at capacity and we need more resources for the DVD store application. So we will initiate a VMotion migration to move VM3 from the VM host of Blade 3 to the VMware host on Blade 5. This will happen with no downtime to the application and no drop in user connectivity and no drop in client connectivity from the RDP session to the client machine from the 2950. We are now connected to the Dell PowerEdge 2950 running VMware's virtual infrastructure client. You see we have three VMware host blades, 13, 14, and 15. The VM running the DVD store application is running on VM 50.51 on Blade 13. We will connect with RDP to the VM. See that this is the same IP address. This will allow us to see the transactions to the database through perfmon on the VM. You'll see that currently there are no transactions to the database, and we are running on the same VM that's on the host. So let's now start some transactions to the database. This will kick up some threads. You see that this name matches the same name of the VM that we are connected to. So we'll launch about 8 threads. It'll take a second to ramp up the workload, and you will see through perfmon on the VM that the workload will start. So now we see transactions being generated to the VM, currently running on Blade 13. So transactions are on the server. Now let's assume that we have run out of capacity on Blade 13, so we will migrate the VM from 13 to a different blade. So we simply right-click, say Migrate. This will bring up the VMotion wizard. You'll see the selections for the VM hosts to migrate to. We will select Blade 15. It will check and validate compatibility, make sure that it's correct, that the SANs are connected, the network's connected, that they can actually talk to each other. We have a selection of high priority or low priority for the task. We'll select high priority and click Next. And now you see a summary screen that will show the blade that it's being moved to, and select Finish. And you'll see the VMotion will start. In the task list, you'll see that VMotion does start. You'll see a slight drop in performance on the VM. You will not lose transactions or connectivity. It's just a slight drop in performance when VMotion starts as it's moving the threads and workload from the VM host 13 to VM host 15. You'll see this transaction is almost complete. You'll see another slight drop in performance as it finishes up the transaction. And you will see that VMotion does complete in 41 seconds. You'll see the transactions are back to where they were before the VMotion task was started. And again, there was no loss in connectivity. The client is still generating workloads, so database never lost connectivity. The RDP connection was never dropped, and the workload stayed as expected. Thank you for watching the demonstration. If you have any questions,